Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Bahasura Chahakodash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who well, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. I was a high spirit with lawyer. And today I want to go into a live stream, going into, your health and wellness, being spiritual in this truth, pouring into the inner man, because in Babylon, it's a warfare. All right, in Ephesians 6:12, it says we battle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. And part of warfare is your enemy keeping a spiritual people in the flesh. One thing that the Matrix does, it just keeps you in the flesh. All right, and the reality of the flesh is that you have to give the flesh a break. Like it says in the scriptures, it's a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. And always has you. All right, he's always milking your flesh. All right, whether it's you're always eating, all right, you're always feeding your flesh, you're always doing something with your lower nature, right? So when we come into this truth, it's time to put that to the side. Don't get me wrong, we still have to eat, and you still deal with your woman, all right? But as far as doing that excessively, all right, the scriptures speak about inordinate affection. If you look up the word inordinate, it's a lot. If you look up the word inordinate, it means excessive. One of the definitions that I remember is that it's excessive. All right, and Esau has you really in a lower nature lifestyle. It's a lifestyle of being in the flesh, or what science would call your lower nature. Okay, but that chokes out the spiritual man. But it says that they that are of Yahweh are a new creature. So the new creature is the hidden man inside of you. What does he like? You got to feed that hidden man is manna, which is the word. So when we were in the world, we fed the flesh more than we fed the spirit. All right, we did more fleshly things than the spirit, or than spiritual things, man. And even if we were a part of some spiritual practice or some discipline practice, it wasn't rooted directly back to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, it wasn't rooted back to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. But now that we are of a new creature, all right, everything we do is more cerebral, it's more for the mind, it's more for your inner world. And what I've learned about, especially Israelites, man, all right, and what I've learned about the hidden man, he has a whole world within himself. All right, we have a whole reality within ourselves. And once you clean your inner temple, all right, once you refine your inner sanctuary, all right, you have just that, a sanctuary. There's a rest haven within your mind. All right, just how you clean up your temple at home and you feel a certain level of peace. Well, you can clean up your inner temple within your mind and you experience inner peace. All right, Esau, he wants you to not have any type of structure and government about yourself and just be a slave to your impulses, man. All right, because he'll take your two most primal instincts and just exploit them. All right, which is the impulse to put food into your body and the impulse to reproduce yourself. But he takes those two impulses and turn you just to an animal, worse than an animal. Because animals eat to survive, but Americans eat for drunkenness. All right, animals reproduce for survival and replicate themselves by instinct. But Babylonians, they just have sex for pleasure and entertainment. All right, and they're overstimulated, you see? And that overstimulation in the flesh, it drowns out the spirit. So where you could look at Babylon. You can look at Israelites that are not in the truth, and you can tell when they're just soulless. They have no soul, man. All right, either they got this dry look from thirst, all right, or they got this soulless look, like nobody's there, like they got like they're staring off into nothingness. All right, but a man of Yahweh by Shema Shai is internally rich, man. All right, it's a lot. I'm a little stuffy. All right, you can tell, you know, a lot of the brothers in this truth have a glow about them, man. And you're gonna find out that the only thing you need is the manna of the scriptures. The only thing you really need, as far as what the hidden man needs, is that manna. All right, those honey biscuits. All right, though the sweet bread of the scriptures, man. All right. All right, down south, Jake love biscuits and syrup and biscuits and honey. All right, but that's that manna, you know. But spiritually, hey, the scripture says, you know, the word is like honey, you know. The word is sweet, you know. But Jake love pancakes with syrup. Jake love, because the scriptures speak about waffles and cakes in our culture. But now it's it's more processed now, you know. But Jake love pancakes and syrup and pancakes and honey. All right, Jake love waffles. Jake love that French toast, you know. Jake love the honey and the biscuits, like Elder Yashawama brought out years ago. Like that's that manna, you know. That's that honey and biscuits, you know. Jake love that quail, which is basically that chicken, you know. And fried quail, you know. But the hidden man loves his manna, and that manna is that word. Other things that come along with that manna is peace. So you can either pour into the flesh, you can pour into the spirit. And once you control the impulses of the flesh, all right, those impulses get transferred, or what they call transmuted, into the spirit. All right, and what that does, it empowers the spirit, man. It amplifies the spirit. And it gives the spirit peace. All right? It gives the spirit peace, man. Like I said, that hidden man has an inner world. And that inner world, all right, it's like a reality within itself. It's like a sanctuary within itself. And a sanctuary is like a place of peace and rest. So when you learn how to, you know, Most High give you the spirit to control the flesh, man, it gives you peace within your mind. It's a peace of mind. All right. It's going to speak about having rule over your spirit. All right, which is really those impulses, man. You know, and Apostle Paul said, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I spake as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. And one of the things that we put away when we become men in this truth, or mature in this truth, is that we're no longer slaves to our impulses. You know, everything is managed, everything is regulated. You know when to feed the flesh, and you know when to feed the spirit. That's part of your maturity, as opposed to just being a slave to your fleshly impulses. Because a child, you get a little boy that's 8 years old, 10 years old, man, he could damn near get hit by a car because he'll see something and he'll run after it, not even realizing like he just put himself in the middle of the street. You know, especially a 4 or 5 year old. You know, Jake likes anything that's shiny, but part of that maturity is being a little more cognizant of our actions and having that self-control, man. You know, but in this truth, man, you learn to build a sanctuary, an inner sanctuary, man, and you learn to appreciate the intangible things like peace and joy. And you realize that a lot of things that you really need don't even require you to leave the house. All right? Well, you know, like that young people's lifestyle is always out in clubs and bars, and you know, not that anything's wrong with going to bars, but we talking about in the world. You know, you got Eve that's always in the world, she's always in clubs, and she already has kids. A lot of times, all right, her apartment or her place where she stays is messy because she gives no attention to the home because she's always out and about pleasing the flesh, man. lot of times when you're pouring into one thing, you're negligent in the other thing, man. But that Hebrew way is more homebound, man. The scripture says Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And I think the NASB translation is Jacob was a civilized man dwelling in tents, man. All right. Some translations say Jacob was a peaceful man dwelling in tents. So really, that's a Hebrew nature, or I'm not gonna even say Hebrew because Esau was a Hebrew. That's a Israelite nature to be more homebound, you know. But then again, you know, you have, you know, spirits within the tribes, and Jake is outgoing as well, you know. But as far as we have to, when you get on certain practices like semen retention, and you know, you start cleansing and fasting, you realize that your spirit has to heal from the way that you lived in the matrix, man. Hey, Shalom Zakwan, Yahweh Bahashim, Hosai Bahashim, Hakodash Brakatah. Your spirit has to heal from the fucking matrix, man. Your body has to heal from processed food, and your body has to heal from certain dietary traumas and certain poor habits that weaken your body and weaken your flesh and weaken your virility. You have to heal from that shit, you know. Then you got to heal from 20, 30, 40, 50 years of putting processed food into your body and never going on a fucking detox, you know. No, you got to heal from the matrix. And healing requires, what's the word, when you isolate something. Healing requires like a quarantine, man. You know, you have to separate yourself, man, to heal. When our people caught leprosy, man, they had to go out into the wilderness for 7 days at least to heal. You know, for that melanin to grow back, man. All right, but we're spiritually in the desert when you are excluded from the world or worldly activities, and you're just at home building up that hidden man, you know, feeding that hidden man that manna. It's like you're strengthening him. You take a certain person that's recovering from a sickness, and they had the flu or pneumonia, and they lost about 10, 20 pounds. What happens after that? They got to put that weight back on. So that hidden man has been starved out all of his life. It was, you know, malnourished. So now you got to separate and get quarantined in the spirit and build yourself back up with that manna. Get that fat back on your bones, man. Your spiritual bones. You see? That requires separation, man. You know? But within Babylon, within its matrix, separation is a powerful thing, man. You know? Separation is a powerful thing, because your mind has to restore itself, your spirit has to restore itself, man. And when you are a new creature, every facet of your existence is enhanced, all right, and replaced with the Hebrew way. So the way that we eat is more Hebrew, is what they call Mediterranean. All right, the way that we drink is more Hebrew, all right? Or just more wine, or you might not even drink that much, or you just know when to drink your heavy liquors and all that stuff. You know, because the scripture speak about strong drinks, but everything is more quality now. Quality, you know. The Hebrew way is more domestic, you know. We have to remember, man, we had Hebrew communities throughout the diaspora, and then you did have Hebrews that was acculturated into the Greco-Roman way. But a lot of us who woke up from that way through the epistles of the Apostle Paul, through the spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, we woke up from that, and we had to separate ourselves from that Greco-Roman culture. So now you have to find your Hebrew way in Babylon, you know. We're exiles in Babylon, you know. You know, brothers do their thing. Brother might step out or whatever, but you know, culturally, hey man, we are within, you know. So now this truth, man, is about spiritual practice. Now the world will take the concept of spiritual practice and take it into all other avenues, but within the context of this truth knowledge, praying is a spiritual practice. Fasting, cleansing, that's spiritual practice. You're doing things for your spirit, man. All right? Moderation really is a form of spiritual practice, man. Times where you're withdrawn from fleshly pleasures, that's a spiritual practice. You know? Hey, it tells you in the book of Genesis that Isaac went out to the field to meditate. You know, a brother might go to the park or by a lake, man, and just restore his mind, to just recenter, you know. And Isaac went out to the field to meditate, man. You know. To restore, all right, to recenter, you know. But that's pretty much the point, you know. It's that hidden man that we are enriching now. All right, that we have to put the fluids back in the body, put the fluids back in the body of the hidden man. You know, fatten his bones, man. Because Babylon finessed us. Esau finessed the king of Babylon. He told us, here, take this, here, take this treat, take this dainty, come get these women. But he's not telling you that he's weakening the hidden man, which has to have a strong connection with the Most High. You know, it's one thing to keep the laws, but it's one thing to be in the spirit when you're keeping the laws, you know. But hey, with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Hey, look at that. I got 14 people in the chat. And at that time that I said it, I had 5 likes. Now, I'm sorry. I had 4 likes. So that's 144. All right. But hey, with that, to the next time, I will say shalom.